So are you looking to start a home-based food business in Arizona? Well, in this video we are going to give you some great instructions on how to do just that. Welcome to Marketing Food Online YouTube Premier Food Entrepreneur channel. With over 800 free videos, we give you all the information you need to help you get started in the food business. Arizona started in 2011 with their cottage food laws that allow certain products to be made from home, and it's a great way to get a food business up and running if you've never started. Now Arizona does have some limitations. The types of food products that you can make are confections like cookies and baked goods, cakes, bread and bagels, and also jellies, preserves and butters. One great thing is there is no sales limit. Let's see down below how to get started with Arizona's cottage food laws. Remember, if this is your first video, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification to see all the brand new videos that we upload every week. And if you have a friend or family member who wants to start a food business, let them know about our YouTube channel. We appreciate it, and let's get into it. So let's start with the types of foods that you actually can make from home. Examples include breads, sweetbreads and bread, bagels, brittles, brownies and fudge cakes, candies, chocolate fudge, chocolate covered fruit, chocolate covered items, cookies, crackers, donuts, dry pasta, dry spice mixes, fruit jams and jellies. There are special requirements for jams and jellies. See this page: granola, honey, kettle corn mixes, spices and seasonings, muffins, pastries, pies, popcorn, pretzels, pumpkin bread, cakes, cookies, muffins, and rolls, coffee, roasted nuts, rolls, toffee, tortillas, truffles, scones, waffle cones. So what are the prohibited foods? Now also keep in mind that many cottage food laws do not ask you to be incorporated. I highly recommend that you do incorporate yourself as a business. Because as an LLC, as an example, you will limit the amount of liability you may incur if somebody gets sick. Also check out below for more information on how you can incorporate online in less than 15 minutes. Be sure to also get food producers insurance. This is a type of insurance policy that will protect you in case someone gets sick. And again, most states may not demand that you have this, but it definitely another addition to make sure that you stay safe and not have a lawsuit if someone gets sick. Here are some of the food products that cannot be made from home, and remember, this list does not include everything, so make sure you do your own research and study to find out which ones you cannot make. Here's a great start below: butter and spreads and nut butters, buttercream frostings, products with custard, dehydrated fruits and vegetables, fillings, frostings, and icings, frosting guidance, beverages, fruit butter, fish and meat proteins, mustards, cakes with custard fillings, oils and vinegar, pecan pie, perishable baked goods, cheesecake, pet food, salsa, sweet potato pie, syrups, tamale sauces, nut butter, custards, puddings, cupcakes or cakes where the pH could be out of range and would be a potentially hazardous item. You may need to use a commercial kitchen to produce an item that is not approved or allowed. It's best if you would contact your city or county environmental department and see if they can produce the product at a commercial kitchen. Please contact your county's environmental health department to obtain the necessary license. If your food product does not meet the definition of cottage food, you may still be able to make and sell it commercially, through a startup approach. What this means: when you create a food product, it has to be done at your home, and that has to be your primary residency, so anything you bake or cook or make under the allowed food laws you have to maintain at your home. You cannot leave your home with the product's licenses. Online food business registration would be necessary. Most producers will also need to get a food handler card. Obtain a food handler's card, if offered in the county in which you live, and next complete the Arizona Online Cottage Foods registration form here. Details: registrants can also choose to sign up for email updates from the program, which will include food safety information, product recalls, and healthy baked good recipes from the Arizona Department of Health Services. To become a registered home baker, you need to obtain a food handler card or training certificate, as required by your county. Some counties issue a county-specific food handler card, some only require you to take a food handler training course, and others have no food handler training requirements at all. If your county does not require food handler training, you are still strongly encouraged to take a food handler training course. You need to get a certification from the American National Standards Institute. Other licenses, see your city and county office for more information. Assessor's Office, for questions about business-related property taxes, Business Zoning Department Office, for questions about zoning restrictions on home-based businesses, City or County Clerk's Office, for questions on local business license requirements. Your insurance policy may have different stipulations or rules and regulations. Be sure to contact them and let them know that you're operating a business from your home. In general, you will at least need to add an umbrella policy, training and food handler cards. This food handler training requirement needs to be fulfilled before preparing any products under the Home Baked and Confectionery Goods program. Some counties issue a county-specific food handler card and some only require you to take a food handler training course online. If your county does not require food handler training, you are still strongly encouraged to take a food handler training course. See this page for a list of online training certificate programs accredited by the American National Standards Institute, ANSI. Cottage food production operations must label all of their food products properly, which includes specified information on the label of each unit of home-baked good or confectionery item when it is offered for sale, the name and registration number of the food preparer. A list of all the ingredients in the product. The product's production date. The following statement: this product was produced in a home kitchen that may process common food allergens and is not subject to public health inspection. If applicable, a statement that the product was made in a facility for individuals with developmental disabilities. More detailed Arizona label requirements and a downloadable label format to customize can be found here. Federal law regulates the type of nutritional information, and this would be based upon how many units you make every year. There is a program through the FDA that allows you to get exemption, but you must apply to that annually. You can download a copy of the FDA Food Labeling Guide here. It is an illustrated booklet that should answer all your questions. So now that you have your list of what you can and cannot make, next up is where can you sell your product. Like most cottage food laws, you are not allowed to sell interstate-wise, which means that you cannot ship or bring your product to another state from the state that you produced it. But the one thing about Arizona's cottage food laws is that you can sell obviously within any part of the state, and the idea of selling it to farmers markets and even grocery retail stores. To sell at a local store, you must take a food handler training course and then register online with the Cottage Food Program. After you receive your certificate of registration through your email, follow the guidelines for developing a package label, see labeling below, and start making your product. As long as your product is labeled appropriately, it can be sold in a retail food establishment within Arizona. The location that you want to sell it must 1. Allow you to sell your goods in their retail food establishment, and 2. Ensure that the customer is notified that the product was made in a private home. Other requirements: see this State of Arizona website for all the other details. Once you have your food handler training certificate, card and your certificate of registration, you may begin selling your goods. Assessor's Office for any concerns about business taxation as well. Also let your accountant know about the business from home. Planning and Zoning Office, for questions about zoning restrictions on home-based businesses. City Clerk, for questions on local business license requirements. You may also want to contact your insurance company to determine the impact, if any, of a home-based business on homeowners' liability. Also keep in mind when you're packaging your product you need a logo, and if you're not great at creating one, check out below in the description to get a link to make your own brand logo. Recommendations. Beyond the requirements, common sense, good practices and reducing liability suggests you should do the following. Training. There are companies called Serve Safe which allow you to take an exam and gives you the basics of understanding food sanitation, food presentation and how to properly prepare food. It's best to use a pH meter, properly calibrated on the day used. I use this one, which is reliable and inexpensive. And this pH meter is really good, but isn't always available. Short-range paper pH test strips, commonly known as litmus paper, may be used instead, if the product normally has a pH of 4.0 or lower and the paper's range includes a pH of 4.6. Record keeping is suggested. You want to also keep track of each of the products you make for sale. Recipe, including procedures and ingredients. Sale dates. Be sure to keep your area workspace clean and sanitized. Arizona cottage food law does not actually require inspections, but here are some good best practices to follow. Use clean equipment that has been effectively sanitized prior to use. Keep ingredients separate from other unprocessed foods. Keep household pets out of the work area. Keep walls and floors clean. Wash hands frequently while working. Consider annual testing of water if using a private well. Best practices. Allergens. Most state home baking acts require an ingredient statement and/or an allergen listing on the label of the bakery item for sale, but if your state does not, you should anyway. The 8 major food allergens are milk, eggs, fish, crustacean shellfish, tree nuts, peanuts, wheat and soybean. This is a system that can be implemented when potentially hazardous foods are out of temperature control, temperatures greater than 45 degrees Fahrenheit, during preparation, serving or display for sale. The rule guidelines are as follows. If a potentially hazardous food has been out of temperature control for 2 hours or less, then it may continue to be used or be placed back in the refrigerator. If a potentially hazardous food has been out of temperature control for more than 2 hours but less than 4 hours, it needs to be used quickly or discarded. If a potentially hazardous food has been out of temperature control for more than 4 hours, it must be discarded. There are also ingredients available, even flours, that can cause cross-allergenicity. American Academy of Allergy, Asthma and Immunology explains cross-allergenicity as an allergic reaction when proteins in one substance are similar to the proteins found in another substance. So if you need more information, definitely check out the link down below the video in the description. As well as Office of Environmental Health, 150 North 18th Avenue, Suite 140, Phoenix, AZ 85007 602 364 3118. Thank you for watching Marketing Food Online and hope to get your Arizona cottage food business up and running. You have any other questions, please let us know or comment down below.
Thanks for watching Marketing Food Online. And if you are looking to create your own food truck, start a home-based food business under the Cottage food law, franchise a food operation, start a packaged food business, private label your own food product, sell on Amazon, get your own online store, or sell food online, remember to subscribe and check out these videos for more resources. Take care.